All right, today we're going to talk about something that's tackling one of the most stressful parts of modern medicine. The wait. We're going to see how AI is learning to translate these huge amounts of our health data into clear, life-saving diagnoses, and it's doing it in seconds. So yeah, let's dive in.
I mean, we've all been there, right? That knot in your stomach while you're waiting for test results? It's awful. But what if that anxiety, what if it's not just about not knowing? What if it's actually pointing to a much, much bigger challenge right at the core of medicine today?
Well, here's the thing. A blood test, a scan, at the end of the day, it's just raw data. It's a bunch of numbers and pictures. You need a highly trained expert, a doctor, to connect all those dots and turn it into a story about your health. And that translation, well, it takes time.
And that brings us to what we call medicine's data problem, the real challenge of turning all that information into actual insight. See, it's not that we don't have enough information. Oh, we have plenty. The problem is making sense of it all.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Everything from a simple blood panel all the way up to these super complex MRI scans or genetic sequencing, the amount of data we can generate is just staggering. We're literally talking about a mountain of information for every single one of us.
And look, the stakes here are just incredibly high. Sifting through that mountain of data, it's not about convenience. It's not about saving a few hours. It can be the actual difference between catching something serious early on or missing it completely until it's too late.
So, what if you could speed up that whole translation process? And I mean, speed it up dramatically. Well, that is the promise of what we're talking about today. A new data interpreter, a tool designed to solve this exact problem. Okay, so what is this thing? It's called a Diagnostic Result Interpreter. And really, at its core, it's an AI tool. It's built to take all that complicated stuff, lab reports, scans, health metrics, and just boil it all down into clear, simple insights that a doctor can use right away. The easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of it like a super-powered translator. But it's not translating, say, Spanish to English. No, it's translating the incredibly complex language of your body's data into the clear, understandable language of a medical diagnosis. Okay, so how does it actually work? How does an OI go from a super dense medical report to a clear insight in just a few seconds? Let's break down the process. The process is actually surprisingly simple. So, step 1, a doctor uploads a patient's report. Could be a lab result, an MRI, whatever. Step 2, the AI instantly starts analyzing it, right? It's reading key markers, spotting anything that looks a little off. But then, step 3, and this is where the magic really happens. It correlates those findings with the patient's entire medical history. We're talking age, medications, past conditions, the whole shebang. And finally, step 4, it translates all of that into a quick summary that flags any risks and suggests what the doctor should do next. It's pretty amazing. And listen, this isn't some far-off, futuristic concept. This is already making a real impact out in the world today. So let's take a look at where this technology is already being used. The applications here are just so versatile. For example, in clinics, they're using it to pre-analyze your test results before your appointment, so the doctor is totally up to speed when you walk in. In labs, they're attaching these AI-generated summaries right to the reports. For telemedicine, it can instantly explain uploaded results to someone who's miles away. And in hospitals, it's basically an early warning system, flagging urgent problems from what look like routine tests. And this right here, this is what shows you its real power. Just imagine a really complex case, right? You've got dozens of pages of reports from all these different specialists. This tool can take all of that, synthesize it, and spit out a single, easy-to-read clinical brief. For a busy doctor, that is an absolute game changer. So why is this such a big deal? I mean, why is this more than just a nice little upgrade? Because what we're looking at here is a fundamental shift. We're moving away from slow, manual work and into a brand new era of AI-powered interpretation. Let's just put it side by side. It's pretty stark. Manual interpretation, that can take hours, sometimes even days. The AI interpreter, seconds. With humans, there's always a risk of error, right? We're not perfect. The AI is clinically precise. And maybe the biggest thing, a person might look at one test result by itself, but the AI, it connects all the dots across your entire medical history. Bottom line, this system just sees more. It's a smarter system. It can read pretty much any format: lab results, radiology, even genetic reports. It analyzes thousands of biomarkers all at the same time. But here's the crucial part. It doesn't just look at your data in a vacuum. It cross-references everything with these massive global medical databases. And that gives it the context to flag the very earliest signs of a disease, sometimes even before you feel a single symptom.
Yeah, this quote really sums it all up, doesn't it? From data to diagnosis, faster, clearer, and clinically precise. It's not just about one part of the process. It's about making the whole thing better, from start to finish.
And let's be super clear about this, because it's the most important point. This technology is not about replacing doctors. Not at all. It's about empowering them. It's about giving them a tool, kind of like a superpower, that lets them see the full picture of your health instantly. So this all leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. If that awful, anxious wait for answers just goes away, what kind of conversations could you start having with your doctor tomorrow? When data becomes instant insight, healthcare can finally shift from being reactive to being truly proactive. And believe me, that future is getting here a lot faster than you might think.